Buckle up, you bastards. You're about to listen to another episode of Very Late with Blackbrainz and Sadgodzuki. Get ready for uninformed opinions about video games, hood politics, and rambling tangents.
And we back, young Zuki. How you doing, man?
Doing good. How you doing, bro?
I'm living life. Business. I was on yes, sir. I was on the homie Club Doom's stream yesterday. So shout out Club Doom. This is gonna drop much later, but appreciate the homie as always. We got the tape out, Stoner Cookbook out on all platforms. Run that shit up. What are you saying, man? What's good?
Nothing. Just chilling.
Damn, man.
And playing that new Lords of the Fallen.
That's like the that's like the Soulsborne game, right?
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool for what it is. It's way better than the first one that they did.
Like with those kind of games, you and I talked about this before, that like games aren't allowed to just be okay anymore. Like they either have to be like revolutionary, pivotal masterpieces or shit. A video game can't just be fun anymore.
Yeah, like this game has what Souls games don't have. It has seamless co-op.
Damn.
A game that you have to mod into every Souls game. Like that right there already made it like, I'm like, damn, this is better than Elden Ring, Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, and Demon Souls.
But that doesn't have appeal because most Souls players don't have real life friends to play with, so that ain't gonna work. I can see why they're mad. I can see why they think that's trash.
Yeah, you gotta have a friend.
But speaking of a video game that some people think is a pivotal masterpiece and some people think is pure dog water, we have a very special guest. We have Foodieti here. Let me just pull up your stills. Food, say something.
Hey, what's up?
Hello. We're very blessed to have you on here. Greatly appreciate you taking the time.
Excited to be here.
Absolutely. So before we get into it, can you give our audience who may not be familiar with you a bit of a rundown of your history, what you do, what you're all about?
Sure. What's up, audience? Everyone listening. I'm Foodieti. I am a space alien DJ, VTuber thing, whatever you want to call it. Actually, you don't know. I hate the word VTuber. Okay, I'm a
you gonna fit in
creator, whatever
you're
you
gonna
want to call
fit
that.
right in here.
I use a model, but I'm not in all that. I don't want people to hear the word VTuber and be like, oh God, it's one of the no. It's really not. It's really not one of those. I'm a virtual creator, musician, singer, songwriter thing. I really got started with my following doing Friday Night Funkin stuff. I'm a video game modder. I make custom music for Friday Night Funkin. That's kind of how I got started.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then like you kind of branched off from Friday Night Funkin', because like one thing I'll say is like I just kind of vaguely aware of FNF, and like firstly, fucking y'all run up streams in the Friday Night Funkin' community.
Yeah.
Those are like fucking insane numbers some of these tracks pull, man. I just like looked at some of your tracks, like 2 million.
I'm like, I'm like, damn, we in the wrong bracket.
For real.
In the FNF community.
For real, I've been fucking up. I've been making music too. I'm getting like fucking 300 plays on shit with like established rappers. I'm punching the air right now.
I mean, it's definitely an acquired taste. It's not like, oh, I'm about to like put my stuff out for Friday Night Funkin' and it's like guaranteed do number. Like, no, it's definitely a very acquired taste. So, and I've also been in the community for a while. I've been in since like the game kind of first was getting its footing. So FNF wasn't even as popular as it is now when I first got started. So that's kind of why the numbers look like that. I'm kind of like an OG.
Right.
But yeah, it's most definitely, like I said, an acquired taste.
Yeah. Like it's because I know some people like straight up swear by FNF music, and some people like think it's just like, a bunch of hilarious noises occurring all at the same time. But I think there's like a middle area. Like I kind of see the vision with like how modders and stuff compose in FNF. Because like it's made with the game in mind, obviously, or the mod in mind. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think it depends. If you're a musician who works with modding specifically, then you definitely look at it as a more video game type of medium. But for me, when I first started, it was a little bit different. When I started making Friday Night Funkin' content, I was just kind of like whatever the musician equivalent is of like a fan artist, a fan musician, something like that. Yeah. So I was composing music without thinking about it being in the game. I was just like, oh, this is cool. I can make stuff for this game and like fan content, but I don't know anything about modding. I don't know damn thing about going in the files, anything like that. Like I didn't know any of that. I was just making music because it was cool. And then people were in my comments like, oh, we should put this in game. We should put this in game. And I'm like, okay, I don't know anything about it, but sure, go wild, go nuts, go crazy. And then once I kind of got comfortable with it, like at first I was doing like lo-fi remixes and stuff like that, and then I started branching out into like my own type of FNF music and stuff like that. I kind of got more familiar with the community and kind of like what modding is, because like I said, I had never been into video game modding. This was just something that just kind of fell into my lap randomly. But then I met a streamer. Shout out Caesar Fever. I met a streamer who found my content through the FNF lo-fi remixes that I was doing. And his community, like his moderators, brought me on to work on a project for his birthday in secret to make music for. And that's kind of where I first got my hands into like modding and charting music for rhythm games and stuff like that, because I didn't know what I was doing before. Right. So then I started looking at it at, oh, how can I compose music that's not only sounding good, but fun to play as well? Because I didn't have that aspect. I was just making stuff that I thought sounded good. And then I kind of started to get both aspects as well. And that's how my production style kind of changed to kind of accommodate the playing aspect of it, because I wasn't considering that before. And now I'm kind of in this like middle ground where sometimes I make stuff just because it sounds good. I don't care if anyone wants to play it or not. And then sometimes I have stuff for a project where I have to think of it in that aspect. But it's definitely, I'm more nonchalant with it. A lot of people take it a lot more seriously. I love the music aspect. So I don't care how exactly what I'm doing is perceived. I like it for the artistry of it. So yeah.
No, that's, well, firstly, that's very succinct. Yeah, that's a wonderful answer. Yeah. And like, beyond that, I think, you know, whatever your medium may be, I think many creators kind of have that idea of going like, well, I just want to make this because I like it or I'm passionate about it. And I guess working within Friday Night Funkin' was just like your kind of medium initially, right?
Yeah.
Now
I see it as definitely more of a medium than a like specifically like game center, because I don't even play that game that much. I'm gonna be for real. I watch people play it sometimes, and I've streamed myself playing it here and there, but I don't be playing the game like that. They be real serious, like clicking the keys all fast, and I'm like, whoa, like let's calm down a little bit. I don't do all that. I like the music. I think it's cool, but I do not be doing all that. Like I am not sweaty with a rhythm gameplay, or not to say there's anything wrong with that, but that's just not me. That's just not me.
Oh, man, some niggas got them strong fingers just hitting.
Hell yeah.
No, seriously.
More than the beat.
Seriously, that is not me.
God damn.
It's like birds flapping.
Yo, but no, that's interesting. Like the way you kind of broke it down to me, that makes a lot more sense. It's almost like you're using like the Friday Night Funkin' sound font, kind of the way like a producer would use a DAW, right? Where like that's your toolkit that you're using to make that type of music.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, like, is there software to write the music, or do you use like a DAW and then do you like use the sound font?
Yeah, I compose everything in FL. The only thing that makes it Friday Night Funkin' is what you would call the chromatic, which is the character voice or whatever, or the sound that's associated with the character when you're, you know, playing the song or whatever, which, you know, the beeps, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But basically a chromatic is a recording or something like that. Some people use sound fonts. I don't be doing all that. It's so like a wave file with all the different sounds, and then I put it into like Slice X and slice it up and basically just kind of use it as an instrument, and that's it.
Oh, like so you chop it, like you're essentially like sampling from the wave.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then that's how you, so it's like very regular music.
Yeah.
Except like you can change the FNF chromatics to be instruments if you wanted to. Some people use instruments.
Right.
People don't even be making full chromatics because chromatics are when like you sample like a voice recordings and then you turn that into like basically an instrument. Some people don't know how to do all that, so they just use instruments and stuff like that. But it's pretty much identical to making regular music, except for just that chromatic aspect, which makes it FNF music. But it's really regular.
Yeah, like it just sounds like you would basically pull whatever sample you're using for like the chromatics, and then you would just put that on a MIDI roll, and you could like play out your melody on like piano roll easily enough.
Yeah.
Ah, that's dope. Holy shit, maybe I am gonna make some FNF music. God damn.
It's a lot of fun to experiment with. I fell in love with it because I like making music, but at the time I didn't want to sing everything all the time. Like,
yeah.
So that gave me a chance to experiment with melodies on top of the beats that I was making and stuff like that. And it was cool because it was kind of like a Hatsune Miku type thing where you can create music and have something else sing it or perform it, and you don't really have to be as hands-on with it.
Didn't look at it that way. Yes.
God damn! This is why we have the guests we have on here, because we're always learning from our guests. You know, like
I know. My outlook on it is definitely very kind of unique. If you ask somebody else about it, they might explain it a little differently. But that's my personal relationship with FNF music, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, genuinely, the way you broke it down as a fairly seasoned producer. Like, that makes so much more sense than how I was seeing people, like, talk about FNF music. I was like, oh, you're just playing the sample. Okay. Like, why didn't someone just say that?
Yeah, people like to convolute a lot of stuff when it comes to FNF. It really don't be that big of a deal.
Yeah.
It's really not.
Because I was listening to a couple of your songs in preparation for this, like, your FNF stuff and then, like, your solo stuff, which we'll get into in a bit. But like the way I heard the way you like programmed drums, the melodies you were using and stuff, I was like, beyond the chromatics, as you call them, like these are just pretty solid compositions. There's nothing nothing that's like truly obtuse about them, you know, which I find a lot of FNF people act like they're recreating the music genre the way they're composing music. It's like you're just composing a song. I get it.
Yeah, some people are definitely a lot more kind of up their own ass when it comes to like their FNF style. It really is not that. It's just music. It's just music. Some genres are definitely more favored than others, because FNF music, fun fact, is based off of hyperpop. That's kind of where like the high pitched vocal sounding stuff comes from, because
like
Kawaii Sprite, which is because Kawaii Sprite, which is the composer for the base FNF game, he was a hyperpop musician, and then it kind of translated over into him and his friends working on FNF. So a lot of people prefer like that hyper poppy sound, but you can do whatever, really.
I just like when I see random FNF fans in the wild. They're like, I don't like the genre this music is based off of, but if it's the little FNF guy doing it.
Okay, so let's fucking talk about that, because all right, so like even beyond the hyperpopish leanings, the premise of Friday Night Funkin' is a rap battle fundamentally. Like visually, you look at that, it's boyfriend battling whoever for, you know, whatever story-based reason. But I find that so many people into FNF have like no respect for rap whatsoever. Like they do not fuck with rap despite this game having so much hip-hop imagery.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of I would say cultural ignorance in the FNF community. They kind of do that sometimes, and I guess a lot of that comes from the fan base being relatively young. But they don't really get it. Which is why a lot of people kind of find themselves having to separate themselves from the community, because sometimes if you're like a genuine musician who takes like music seriously outside of FNF, and FNF's not your whole world, it can be kind of annoying dealing with the fan base sometimes. Definitely. But that also comes from like when FNF first started, I would say the fan base was more like mature, like because it's new, it's, you know, Newgrounds culture, like it was
like
but as the game became more mainstream and YouTubers were playing it and like it kind of became more widespread, then the younger audience kind of like mixed in with that, and then it became kind of, you know, the clusterfuck that it is right now. But it wasn't always like that.
Yeah, like me and Zuki here, we're about to show our goddamn age. Like the one thing that stood out to the two of us was Pico being in
Pico. I'm like, Pico's cool. The game I played when I was 7.
Yeah, like man, we grew up with Pico on Newgrounds because we're a bit older, and he was like kind of the pseudo mascot of Newgrounds around that time. Yeah. But I noticed like a lot of people just straight up didn't know who Pico was, and I found it very funny that they would like go back and realize like how controversial Pico is.
Yeah. Pico stopped the school shooting.
Yeah.
He convinced the dude to commit suicide. He fought the bear in the big blue house.
No, he stopped the school shooting by shooting the school shooters.
Yeah.
He proposed a counter school shooting in that flash game.
Yeah, he did. But the thing that always tripped me up with that game was, why was Tom Phelps such a big fan of Samurai Showdown? Because you literally just fight Hattori Hanzo from Samurai Showdown as like the second boss battle.
Because that game is good, but we ain't getting on that tangent. It was just it's interesting, and like the thing I kind of like about that is like it's almost like if you know, you know. Like initially, as an FNF fan, you see this character and you just like him aesthetically or think he's interesting. But for people like from our generation, you see Pico and you're like, oh shit, you know, like So I
mean, like I definitely had to do my research because like I'm not like super like I'm 20, so like it's not like that's around my wheelhouse. But I wasn't a Newgrounds kid. I was Sonic the Hedgehog on my DS all the time, like all the time, constantly. That's what I was doing. Or I was watching YouTube. I didn't really like explore very far into the internet. Well, I did, but it was a separate section. Like I was into Sonic, like DeviantArt, like that.
Yeah.
That sector of the internet. So then I got into FNF and I was doing research on like like Pico and like playing the old games and stuff like that. And it was a very fun experience for me. Like I learned about a whole different sector of the internet that was going on at the same time as whatever the hell I was doing at that age. But I got to learn about it. I thought it was so cool.
Yeah.
So at least in my case, it kind of introduced me to a different internet culture that I can have appreciation for. But not everybody can say the same thing when it comes to handling stuff within FNF. It very much depends on who you talk to.
Right.
I would say.
I can see how, you know, maybe the fan base could either appreciate that or not appreciate that, depending on who it may be.
Yeah.
But like the way I see it, like at least from my vantage, is like I kind of understand how, like, you know, Zuki, our parents probably showing us a bunch of bullshit, and you know, we would eventually kind of dig into it and realize, oh shit, this is actually dope. So this is kind of like our equivalent with the Zoomer generation getting put on to fucking Pico.
They're like, what's Shockwave player? Sit down, young one. Let me show you the old internet.
It's begun.
Let me holler at you. You're at the cookout. It's like, y'all never go on mini clip games, boy. So
you ever been on lifesaver.com and played pool or golf?
Oh, I swear to God, child, sit down. I gotta tell you about this.
Yeah.
So one of the things I want to address off of that is, like, you mentioned cultural insensitivity or like ignorance, you know, things of that nature. Like, let's address the elephant in the room. You are a Black presenting virtual creator. I don't want to say anything until you say it, but that's who you are. And you know, statistically, the internet they fluctuate in how they interact with Black people.
Yeah.
What is it like being in that community, even as like a creator on the outside of it, as a Black person?
It's been very rocky. My community has watched me experience a myriad of different things. And I'm not the type of person who, when something happens, I'm like, it's because I'm Black, isn't it? Like, it has to take a lot of stuff to go on for me to be like, is it because I'm Black? Like, I just don't like to jump I don't like to jump to that at first.
Right.
But it'll be small stuff that'll build up over time. Like, for example, it's not racist, but like my character has an afro. Big afro over the eyes. And then other people in the community will have characters who have afros, and everyone will be like, oh, you're this character. Oh, you're this person. And it's like, it's just because we all have afros. Like, we're not even all Black. Like, you know, we all have afros, and they're like, oh, you're this person. Or, oh, wow, your FNF sprites look like Ice Spice. Where? That's not how that works.
Oh, God damn.
It's like, that's not blatantly racist, but it's kind of like a if somebody did that to your OC kitty number 445, you would be up in arms being like, don't say that this person looks like this person. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
But I'm like actually Black. And people can be like, oh, this character looks exactly like this character, when the only commonality is the afro. Then it's like, that's a little poor taste. That used to really get on my nerves at first, because I was like, come on now. Like, it wasn't, I didn't even associate it with a race thing. I was just like, y'all are just stupid.
For real.
But then as I continued on in the community, I'm like, there is a little bit of racial insensitivity. Another thing I think of is, I have my own FNF mod called McDidy's Debt Disaster, and it's about my Sona going through and battling people in my community, like my moderators and stuff. Some people didn't like it. That's fine, it happens. But I got a DM calling me the N-word with a hard R. And it's like, huh? Like, y'all are like 14 years old. Like, why is that like if y'all want to tell me it's trash, I'm garbage, get off the internet, that's fine. Do that. It's really okay. But you're calling me the N-word with the heart? Like let's
like just for making content, you know, that's like
that's here's the thing that's weird though. Like they're a Friday Night Funkin' fan. Like, you know for a fact they're not gonna say that with their whole chest to anybody in real life.
Yeah. And it's like,
Now,
or especially being who I am and seeing those around me kind of growing with them and kind of seeing how their experience in the FNF community is versus mine. I'm like, like I can definitely tell that like some people just get it a bit harsher than other people. And it's not something that I can say that all FNF fans are conscious of because, you know, it started in Newgrounds culture and, you know, Newgrounds can be kind of raunchy. But then when that crosses into like reality and like putting people down because they're black or like, I don't know, just tending to be more harsh towards something that one person will say, but then your favorite white creator says the same thing and you think it's like the best thing ever,
right.
then you really kind of got to take a step back and be like, are my personal biases really coming into conflict to how I treat people online? That's really what it comes down to. And again, like I said, when you have a community that's rooted in Newgrounds and that type of culture, and you know they think everything a game, like it can really kind of blur the lines between what is and isn't acceptable to online creators in general, but also towards how you treat online creators of color. So that's kind of my thing.
No, that's, I mean, you know, firstly, that's terrible that you've had to deal with stuff like, you know, racially charged DMs, just because you're making your content, you're being creative, you're, you know, interacting with your community, and, you know, fucking, of course, Zuki just saying they ain't saying it with their whole chest. You know.
Yeah.
I know.
You know this Friday Night Funkin' fan. If you dropped him right in the middle of East Atlanta, you know, no chromatic saving his ass. He ain't gonna be able to go out of that shit, you know. It's like
definitely not. Definitely not.
So it's,
and I think it's,
oh no, go ahead, man.
No, it's like, yeah, you shouldn't have to go through that.
Yeah,
and also it's like, because I guess me and Brainz are kind of numb to it because that was the era we grew up in.
Yeah,
but it wasn't like. On Newgrounds, it wasn't really racism. It was just more like stereotypes for everybody.
Yeah.
It's not like
and like
the other sites me and Brainz went to that we shouldn't have went to. But that's another story for another day.
Another leaf-based website. But you know, it's the fact that like one of the things that a lot of creators have to endure now too is that like you're on Discord or you're in these communities where this kind of discourse is frequent, or people can stay criticizing you, right? Like if, you know, I get called the N-word on like a game, or, you know, on a like whatever social media I'm on, it's like one and done from like how I grew up. But like I think it's very omnipresent now for Black creators, because you're on Twitch, you're on YouTube, you're on Discord, you're on all these platforms where people can just chase you down and keep peppering you with this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's
especially with like stuff like doxing and stuff being so, oh my gosh, so many, a concerning amount of my friends in the FNF community have been doxed, just like full location just posted. It's like, and a majority of my friends being, you know, Black creators, just full address just posted. And it's like, at first it was kind of like this is scary, this is weird, but it's now like commonplace. Like some people don't like you. It's more than just oh, we're gonna call you the N-word and leave you alone. Like your safety is at risk. Like full address, full name, where your parents work, all of that just in a dox bin, just freely available. People making Twitter accounts change to your address. That's something that could happen. And then going to Twitter and be like, hey, could you take this down? And they'd be like, we don't see what's wrong. That's like a very real possibility. And of course, that's not something that's just exclusive to FNF, but it's very much common.
Absolutely. And it's profoundly
makes it very scary.
Like that's that's the thing, is it's deeply corny. And like a lot of the people who participate in doxing and, you know, feel as though they would act on it, like they'd go up to someone's place, they really don't know who's on the other side of that door. And their stupidity is endangering themselves as well, you know? I find a lot of these kind of people in these communities, they're so devoid of like sympathy or respect or boundaries, all like very kind of basic stuff that they don't even realize they may be jeopardizing themselves in doing this as well.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because like I'm not somebody who's soft. I have very thick skin. You know, I'll be the first person to make a joke at the expense of my identity. Like that's just how I am. I make jokes like that all the time. But it becomes to at a point where you're kind of like, okay, this is crossing a bit of a boundary,
Right.
and it sucks that you know, creators of color or Black creators feel like that they kind of have to, like, in some cases, kind of just put up with it because that's just how the internet is, and if they speak up against it, then they're like soft or like, or they feel like they're immune to criticism and that you just need to take criticism or stuff like that. And it's like, no, like it shouldn't have to be that way. Like if you're getting that upset over a song with no English words in it, where you feel like you have to post somebody's address, you need help. Like it's not a problem with the creator; it is a problem with you.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't like this song. Let me pull up.
these
What?
booping and beeping are not booping and beeping enough for me.
Nah, I ain't fucking with these chromatics. Let me pull up.
It's insane. It really is.
They stay tested.
It's never that serious.
It's like I'm just picturing the angriest, skinniest white boy, grade 7, just being like, "Man, when I get home, I'm pulling up.
Me and my homies finna slide. I'll make some pizza rolls.
When my mom picks me up after dinner, yo, we sliding.
Hold on, mama. What?
Yo, we
What?
sliding. That's so funny.
Nah, homies, I can't make it to the sliding thing. It's lasagna night.
I'm sorry, mom won't let me go up. No.
No, we're not.
My mom let me go out. I'm really about that action. Like, no, you're not. Like, go do your homework.
Yo.
Like, I know your juice box is warm. Go do your
Probably
homework.
just get dapped up and go like, "Hey, what's good, Gavin? What's good, man? What's good, Christopher?"
What's good, Hunter? What's going on?
Seriously.
We sliding on who?
Oh man,
They made what?
the block is hot. Yo, if some fucking kid, like, I'm gonna send my shooters, and you just see like 3 kids wearing Minecraft t-shirts with the stick out. Okay, guys, I borrowed my dad's gun. We only have one, so we gotta share. If we gotta slide, we gotta do it together, and I gotta be home by 9.
No, what's really gonna happen is they gonna pull up on the wrong person and be like, where's the FNF arrows, guys? What's going on? Like, come on.
Yeah, fucking end up in zone 6 and just beep. What this nigga on,
What
man?
the hell
What you on? Damn. We really need that mod where Boyfriend has to face off against 21 Savage. That'll be good.
I think there is one.
Oh man.
I'm gonna be honest. That's the other thing about FNF modders. They're really fast. If you can think about just about anything, there's probably a mod for it.
Yeah,
They're very fast.
I was thinking of like there are a couple of rappers I really fuck with, and I was like, man, it would be so funny to see like these old head, like grimy New York rappers in Friday Night Funkin' just rapping against Boyfriend.
That's how it starts.
Yeah.
You see scenarios and you're like, it would be really funny if this was a mod, and then you're in here for 3 years. That's how it starts. That's exactly how it starts.
You get institutionalized. It's like you see the crack of light after you leave in the jail, and you're just like, damn, I don't know if I can reintegrate with society after making mods for so long.
They're like, nah, okay, this world ain't for me. You go back. He just, nah, I was like, what if they had the Migos ad libs as a voice?
Oh,
the
shit.
boyfriend? Just, oh, damn.
Yeah, man. I respect it though. Like, there's so much genuine creativity in that fandom where you're like, yo, these people just made a straight up functional mod around like a one-off joke or something.
Yeah. That's the thing I would say. Like, the community is definitely not all bad. It just depends on like where where you're kind of at, but like the
Yeah.
community is so creative and they definitely love what they do. And I will say that about the FNF community. May have our moments and stuff or whatever, but it's full of a bunch of creative people who love what they do. And that's why I've been here for so long. I've most definitely had to take my breaks because some of them be wilding, but that's why I haven't like completely cut ties or anything like that, because it's not the game's fault that people act the way that they do on Twitter. It's mainly just Twitter. Like FNF fans are not this way on YouTube. Or if you go somewhere else, it's usually pretty positive. It's Twitter, but Twitter does that to anything.
Twitter is hell. Like,
Yeah. Facts. I don't even know why I'm on there.
For real, me neither.
I'm on there specifically, like not specifically, but mainly for commissions. That's the only reason that keeps it. Like one time my Twitter got suspended and I was like, oh man, well, what to do now? And then they're like, oh, we made a mistake. And I'm like, dang it.
I was out.
No.
This one I was out. They keep pushing me back in.
I was free. Just Elon reaches out, pulls you back into the computer.
I was almost free. I really was, but they unsuspended me and I'm back here. So
damn, welcome back to X. We changed it since you left. The bird's dead.
The bird's dead. Now we tell more lies.
I can't believe they killed the bird. So on that though, like, let's get off of Friday Night Funkin'. I'm tired of talking about these beeps. When it comes to like your regular music output, like what got you into making music and, you know, going in the direction you've gone? Like you're into hyperpop specifically, and like you do a bunch of like really cool genre blends. You sing, you rap a tiny bit, you know, like what kind of took you in that direction and how did you get started in music?
Okay, so I originally opened FL for the first time in 7th grade. There was this boy I liked and he was like, oh, I'm at FL, I'm cooking. And I was like, bet, I'm gonna cook too then. Shoot. Turns out he wasn't cooking nothing. And I had FL Studio on my computer, wasn't cooking not a damn thing. But I learned it and I'm here.
I'm gonna be real. That's why all the ugly niggas make the best beats, is because they you didn't see handsome niggas making good beats. You see dork ass niggas make the hottest beats because they're like, I gotta get some shit working for me. I'm silly looking.
You can't be good looking and make super crack 5 beats.
For real.
Be like an ego in the back.
You got citrus open.
But yeah, that's how I got started with making music. But I've been singing my whole life. I was brought up in the church, so I was always in church choir singing that type of stuff. I'm a theater kid. I was doing musicals, all that type of stuff. So I've always known how to sing pretty much. But then I guess around 2020 was almost like, oh, okay, I have FL Studio on here. I'd been making music on and off throughout high school. But then 2020 was, I think that was my senior. Yeah, during my senior year of high school, I was like, all right, I want to start cooking some stuff. I want to start experimenting. So I put out like a little album, first time doing something like that, singing, and it went pretty okay. Like my friends liked it. It is what it was.
Yeah.
But then the person who I was dating at the time was a Newgrounds kid. And he was like, there's this game, Friday Night Funkin', best thing I've ever seen. And like he was screen sharing it to me on Discord, and I heard a song and it had a trap beat, and I was like, this is a video game with black people music? Like, what's going on? And then I started modding, and then I got into that.
Damn.
But then one of the base game songs in FF had somebody singing, like it has actual vocals.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I sing this. I'm gonna try to do some of that. So in my own mod, I did some like two songs where it was actually me singing. And I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. I had released a couple songs here and there before then, just experimenting with stuff. But I was like, oh, this is pretty fun. And then I started releasing my own music. I was experimenting a lot with like Jersey Club, hyperpop, because of course that's the natural FNF to hyperpop pipeline.
Right.
It made sense. So I was experimenting with hyperpop. And then after that, I was like, oh, this is fun. And I've just been putting stuff out ever since. I'm like, they're like, Foodieti, what genre do you make? I don't know. I don't know, not a damn thing. I just be making what I think sounds good.
Yo, but that's the key though, is like, if you can stay versatile, because like the worst thing you can do is like phase yourself out. Because, you know, maybe 5-10 years down the line, you'll kind of find a genre you specialize in. But like the fact that you can do a bunch of shit is invaluable, right? Wherever music may take you. So
Yeah. So yeah, that's how I got kind of started making like consistently making my own music. Um I love making music. I love music so much. It is so much fun. I definitely have my moments where like sometimes I'm like I need to take a little bit of a break so then I, do the streaming stuff or whatever, but I love music so much. Like it's gotten me through some hard times. So I love experimenting with stuff. And I don't even know like anything technically about music. I don't know what keys are. I don't know I don't know any of that stuff. I just be sounding everything out. That's one thing about my music. I sound absolutely everything out. And I have what's that thing called? I think it's called Synthesia, where you associate
synesthesia,
like
yeah.
yeah, that. Where when I compose things, I know it's the right key because I see a color in my head. So if I'm like, if this note doesn't give me this color in my head, then I know it's not on key. But ask me what key it is, I can't tell you.
Damn.
I don't know. Orange. Like I don't know.
Fucking.
But that's how my music process kind of goes.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting because people will be like, Foodieti, how do you do this? And I love how you put the arpeggio on. I'm like, I don't know, not a damn thing you're saying. That's the funny thing. Like, FNF musicians will like talk to me and be like, oh, I love how you did this. How did you do it? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how to tell you that. Because if I start talking about colors, you gonna think I'm crazy.
Fucking music theory niggas just hating.
Yeah.
Myself included. It's like, I learned this shit.
Wait,
I'm not seeing any fucking psychic waves when I'm doing this shit.
You're telling me I had to learn how to play the trumpet from 5th grade to like 9th grade and read music and all of this. And you see colors that tell you what key it is?
Yeah. God damn.
I'm sorry.
Nah.
Some of us just built a little bit differently.
I had that piano teacher whooping my ass. And my piano teacher was my pop, so he wasn't holding back either.
That's messed up. See, this is because she never had the good Capri Sun pouches.
Yeah, exactly.
Chemicals.
Yeah, the chemicals didn't destroy your brain like
yeah, they tell you to a pouch. Yeah.
It's fucking synesthesia. You're like a stand user from JoJo's doing that. Go like I can see
feel blue.
I think
indigo.
I think Pharrell has synesthesia. If you know who Pharrell Williams is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I love Pharrell.
Yeah, it makes sense because he talks like a fucking space alien when he talks about music. He doesn't talk about like, oh, this is in like, C major diminished seventh. He just goes like, there's an aura around this beat. They're like, nigga.
And then the nigga down the back just going, all right, translated it, guys.
Just tell me how to program your drums, man.
He's just like me for real.
Yeah, he's talking about auras and energies and shit. It's like, what key?
Just like me, yo.
I'm looking for magenta.
Oh man.
It's just like me, yo.
That's gotta be so brutal being in the stew with someone who has synesthesia because you're like, anytime they give you notes, it's like, I'm getting kind of a green from the way you're singing right now. I'm needing you to bring it up to a cyan. Could you?
That's the thing. Some people with it, they be like, okay, obviously I have like a little bit of a talent, something. I'm gonna learn music theory in junction with what I have. Me, I'm just ignorant. I'm like, if you don't sing in the damn blue, then I don't know what to tell you.
You ain't blue. You ain't blue on the level. I need blue from you.
I need blue. Damn. You're giving me cyan.
But that's the thing. I might not know what I'm talking about technically, but when it comes to teaching other people music and kind of how to do it, like people who don't understand FL specifically, I'm able to break it down very well to them because I don't use a bunch of convoluted terms. I just say how I see it, and then they're able to copy that because they're like, this thing does this thing does this. I'm very to the point about it, and I also have ADHD. Yeah. So if things aren't broken down to me a certain way, I'm not going to understand anything. So that's one thing I can say, that me not technically knowing absolutely everything is good. I'm good at translating complicated things into very simple things for people to grasp, even if they're not seeing colors or whatnot. I know how to teach them how the piano roll works, how to put instruments places, how to drag and drop. I'm very good at doing that because I don't see it the way other musicians see it. Yeah. So that's one thing I do enjoy about my music process is that, and people, when they watch me make music, I've heard that it's a very enjoyable experience because I'm very regular about it. People like, they'll be like, oh, Food, are you working on something? Can you stream? And I'm like, okay. They like seeing me sound out the keys or like just placing notes and like knowing where to put stuff in there because they're just like that's insane that you're just doing that. And I'm like, it's purple. It's a purple day today. We're making a song that sounds like purple.
We're making the purple type beat. Yeah, like but that's a cool way you kind of breaking that down because like even because I've gotten this from people who ask me about music and like music advice, you know, it's like, and I can usually give some okay pointers, but I do find that just like by, you know, knowing theory to a small degree and like by doing this stuff for a long time, I have a very hard time of like working back to speaking in layman's terms for a lot of people. And that's like something I've noticed with like a lot of tutorials is even though they're meant to be like general tutorials on music, many times they will still like use a lot of jargon and be very difficult to like work through as someone who's like a total novice or doesn't know anything about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's when I first started with music, I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch these tutorials, and they're like, oh, okay, and then we're putting halftime on them. I'm like, whoa, let's try it.
So many of these tutorials, they jump into like advanced techniques so quickly. Like I remember I was watching tutorials early on, and there was this one like beat tutorial channel called I think it's called Busyworks Beats. And in retrospect, that nigga's beats are kind of trash. Shots fired. But at first I was like, okay, this guy like shows you how to make certain types of sounds and beats. But he immediately just goes like, okay, we're gonna auto slice this, we're gonna move this, we're gonna quantize this, and I'm like going like, what the fuck is quantizing? You know, this is like right when I started. Now,
they'll put like beginner in like all caps in the
like
title.
Beginner friendly. Yeah.
You have to be at the alchemist level.
We need that infant tutorial where it's like,
got me drawing transmutation circles on my walls just so I can figure out where to put this piano note. Like, no, I do not know what you're talking about.
Man, that's a byproduct of the age difference. Zuki was talking about the producer, the alchemist. You're talking about Full Metal Alchemist. Now, funny thing though, the producer, the Alchemist, has sampled Full Metal Alchemist in some of his songs, which is hard. That's a flex. You go like, yo, this is my name. I'm gonna flip it. But that shit got me dead because I understood what both of you were saying, and it just hit me. I'm like, I'm a big enough weeb and hip hop head to understand both of this shit.
I understand what she was going to see the first album. Oh yeah, because that will hit right in the age bracket. But I'm like, I'm talking about one of the most finest white producers out there.
The greatest white producer in the game. Probably my favorite producer next to like the extremely controversial Kanye. I wish he wasn't him, man. I wish he didn't act like that.
No, definitely.
Like, I like Madlib.
I like Otis a lot too.
Madlib got me through some times to just discovering music and stuff. I'm like, who's this nigga called Madlib?
Yeah.
Listen to it, be like, he like me for real.
Now, like that kind of brings me to a good question because we're talking about like people we like or are inspired by. Like, who are some musicians who really like inspired you to get into music, or like who are some musicians you derive inspiration from?
It's definitely a spectrum for me. It depends on who I'm talking to.
Right.
Like if I'm talking to really like a lot younger people, I'll be like, oh, I love Auditari, that type of stuff. But if I'm talking to like older people who know, then I can be like, I really love, Michael Jackson. I take a lot of inspiration from Michael Jackson because he's very versatile, and I grew up all CDs, everything, every word, every small song he's got, I know it.
Oh yeah, we love Michael.
Listen to all instrumentals. Yeah. I love his instrumentals. My what can I say? I like a lot of old R&B artists. Like I like Lauryn Hill. I love
Lauryn Hill. Yeah,
Miss Lauryn Hill, the queen herself.
Love her.
The best.
Pharrell, of course, on a production aspect, I love Pharrell. He's just so. I love producers who are versatile.
Yeah.
I can appreciate when a producer or a musician or a singer, anyone kind of finds their groove and stays in that.
Mhm.
But I like that aspect of being versatile and like kind of being able to adapt.
It's crazy how versatile he is.
Yeah. I love to see that. Especially since people tell me a lot of the times that I'm very versatile too. So I look to people who kind of do that. I like to study people who do a lot of different things. I don't like being comfortable because especially with my ADHD, I jump around a lot.
Right.
If I'm too comfortable in one genre, I'm gonna hate it. I'm gonna try to do something else. I crave that like shaking it up and making things different. So I definitely am drawn to people who not only are versatile but just do stuff that sounds different. Monty Booker, oh my god, I love Monty Booker.
God
He produced
I know Monty Booker. Good taste.
Monty Booker. Love Monty Booker. Monty Booker was the first producer I was like, yeah, I'll fuck with his shit. Yeah. Monty Booker, I've been rocking with for years, since before Colors was popular.
Right.
I've been on and just seeing like his beat flips and like the way he will take a song that sounds one way and make it sound completely love Monty Booker so much. That is like my first producer that really hit hard for me, because I found him around, I want to say 2018, maybe
like that
2018, 2017, back when I was like, I'm only listening to music from SoundCloud. I don't want anything mainstream right now. Like, I need to just feed my mind. Like, when I was in that era, definitely Monty Booker.
Yeah, because
2018 SoundCloud.
Yeah.
Man, that's you could hear the judgment in young Zuki's voice.
Well, okay, okay.
It's not judgment, because like, I'm not gonna. Why am I gonna knock someone who's grown up with that version of music? Like, to me, our era of music is like.
But like, that's the thing. You hear 2018 SoundCloud and you think more like rap, or you're thinking like X and that type of stuff. Yeah. I'm thinking SoundCloud because a lot of random musicians that people haven't heard of. I would very like support indie musicians, and that's why at that time it was hard for me to talk about music to people during that year, because my favorite musicians were SoundCloud people. Right. Like, nobody has heard who they are. I wanted to find like those like 300 play type. Like, I was very adamant on doing that when everyone was listening to like X, Lil Uzi Vert, and that type of stuff. And while I did listen to them, that's not what I was looking for at that time. I was looking for stuff that wasn't mainstream or that people weren't talking about. Not to be edgy,
but you're kind of like finding your own people though, that you want to discover. So, I feel that.
Yeah. So that's why, like, it's kind of, it can be kind of hard saying like, I was a SoundCloud person back then, because they think I mean that, but I don't mean that at all. I'm trying to find what other music is out there that the public isn't really like talking about all the time. What type of things do other people have to say that aren't getting pushed by the algorithm, or like haven't found their place yet? Right. Like, well, people are experimenting. I want to see what that is. That interests me. So, and that's how I ended up finding Monty Booker, just because I was letting my SoundCloud play and I was just like saying what it gave me, and all of a sudden it gave me like a Monty Booker like Migos flip. Yeah. And I was like, what is this? This does not sound like the original. And I was hooked.
I found him through like Shmino and like Saba. Yeah. That's how I got turned on to him. And I was like, yo, like, this guy's incredible. Yeah. So when you said that, I geeked out. I was like, damn, that's some good ass taste food. God damn.
That word.
Thank you. And like I said, when I say my music taste is a spectrum, it's because it really is. Like, I'm able to change my musical language depending on who I'm talking to, because I don't like for people to feel uncomfortable, and I want them to feel that they can relate to me. But at the same time, I have a very wide, I can talk to just about anyone. You're trying to talk about reggaeton? I got that. My family grew up listening to all different type of stuff. You want to talk about rock? System of a Down, love that. I can go into that if I want to. Hyperpop, I can talk about that. I can really talk about just about anything. My music playlist, my friends joke about my music playlist all the time because it's public on my YouTube, right? Because I want people to listening to. I can go from listening to some like Russian rap, you press shuffle, all of a sudden it's Undertale music. You go next, and then it's like hardcore rock. You press shuffle again, it's like a Megalovania meme. Then you press it again, and then it's like Ariana Grande, but what if she was like 90s punk rock? It's very like random.
Nah, that's good though. Like it's like you have eclectic taste, you know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's random. It's more that like you can derive a lot of like pleasure and like, you know, you can derive inspiration from a lot of varied things, which is like that's impressive. Like a lot of people kind of stick in their wheelhouse. Like I consider myself to have pretty varied taste, but I know more often than not I'm listening to like rappers talk about dealing crack. Like like if I really look at my music history, it's like West Side Gun, Pusha T, Boldy James, Freddie Gibbs. I'm like, man, I really wanted to deal crack as a child, huh?
Yeah.
It's because I had like a nice upbringing and I didn't get to deal crack, so I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
Mine's the opposite.
Yeah.
I'm listening to like Japanese city
like city pop. Yeah.
I love Japanese city pop.
And ska because I'm a 90s kid.
Yeah.
Ska's the music of pizza rolls and good time.
Which is hilarious because you see like you've been around way more activity than I ever have. Where you're just like, I gotta listen to some Japanese city pop, some Teiko Oniki to get my mind out this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say my music taste is definitely tied a lot to my identity. Especially since like when I was growing up, especially more towards my during my elementary school years, I went to a lot of predominantly Black schools. Particularly like Caribbean American, that type of crowd.
Yeah.
And then from middle school, I went to a predominantly white school. And it was like complete 180, just like, and I was one of maybe like 4 Black kids in my class. Like it was like that.
Culture shock.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't know how to interact with them at first. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And a lot of the times, like I went through a lot of like racial bullying. And it wasn't even like, I think it's, and this is just me personally, I think it's a lot worse to experience racism when it's very backhanded and like, and very, like laced with rhetoric. Like you don't know that they're being racist until you think about it later and you're like, whoa, that was out of line. I would very much prefer somebody to be like, I don't like you because you're Black or something like that. Like, because at least I can be like, okay, you're honest with me. I'll dap you up. You will never have to see me again. Don't worry about it. But back then it was very like little small things like, oh, I like your braids, like, but is that your real hair? Or like, oh, like I can never add horse hair to myself or something like that. Or how do you get your hair to curl like that? But it's just like my afro.
Our girls
like,
don't
very
foul to each other, right?
Bro, girls are evil. Like
it wasn't even just girls though. It was guys too, like being like, oh, you got like the horse mane going on. The what? like the what? So during that time, I was definitely trying to, and at the time, the person who got me into music said that they found out that I was into them. They were like, oh, I don't like Black girls. Like that's disgusting. So off the rip, I'm like, whoa, let's pull back. Let's reevaluate. And I had my ADHD had just latched onto music. So I'm like, what can I do with this? Where can I take what I'm feeling and kind of see if I can find some of my experience, maybe not just, being Black, but my experience of feeling displaced, feeling lost.
Right.
Where can I pull that from music? So that's when I started listening to a lot of different music, because a lot of different people have a lot of stuff to say. It might not be exactly what I'm going through, but I can take pieces of different voices, different sounds, different expressions, different wordplay, lyricism, stuff like that. And how can I use that to empower myself? How can I become versatile? How can I feel like I fit into wherever I'm at? How can I take the human experience and make it something that's not, I have to have these specific boxes checked to be comfortable, but how can I think that everybody is beautiful and take pieces of that through the music that, that I listen to, because everybody listens to different type of music. And if I can make myself versatile and appreciate everything about different types of music, I can do that with people too. So I was listening, I was studying, I was pulling all that stuff. Well, now I can do that. And it's very easy for me to, like I've mentioned a little bit, I can talk to different type of people. I can do that. And the one segue where I can really connect with people, what music do you listen to? What genre do you like? I can do that now. I don't feel awkward. I don't feel that type of stuff because I've versed myself in so many different types of music and so many different types of things. How I produce FNF music. Okay, like I can do that now. And that's how my music taste, and I can joke about it being silly that my playlist looks the way it does. But it took a very long time for me to get there. And I'm like very proud of just kind of being able to take music and use it as a vice to share myself with so many different type of people, because I can make people feel comfortable. They don't have to feel like they have to like what I like, because most often than not, I like what they like.
Right.
They can talk to me. They can feel like they belong around me, because I don't want anyone to feel like they don't belong with me like I felt growing up with myself. So,
well, like, I, firstly, like, thank you for sharing that, because it's,
thank you.
Obviously there's a lot of kind of tough emotions there that you've had to navigate in your life. So, I greatly appreciate you being vulnerable enough or open enough to share that. Because it is hard, being in that kind of environment where there is that culture shock and there is that pushback, and you're not able to really assert yourself. And then you're facing that bullying and that reprisal frequently, right? So, no, I really commend you finding a way to cope with that so effectively. It's
thank you.
Yeah, it's not easy, and you. I would say a lot of youth in your generation seem to be a lot more socially aware than like myself or Zuki were growing up, about like, how do I understand this situation, and like what can I do to make myself feel at home and be comfortable in who I am. So no, I just appreciate you being open and sharing that. That's awesome.
Yeah, no problem. It's something I'm able to explain it better, because it's something I'm proud of, and it's something that I know a lot of people can relate to, not just about just being Black, but just in general, feel like you don't belong somewhere, and being able to just explain it in a way that makes sense to people. I've perfected it over the years talking about it. In high school, I took like a broadcast journalism class, so I learned how to interview people, how to talk, answer questions, that type of stuff. So I've definitely perfected how to articulate kind of my relationship with music to people. I'm proud of it.
As you should be, because it's an extension of who you are. So that's fantastic. Like, it just kind of. What's that, Zuki?
I said I had another question, but it's not a serious question.
Yeah, go.
It's just like lighten the mood. So, Food, now that we got you here, and I see by what you said you played on your DS when you was younger. Why do Black people like Sonic so much?
Oh, that's a very good question.
Is this like a rhetorical question?
No, this is a literal question. We need you to tell us.
Because every other person we met, they happen to be Black.
Love Sonic, man, myself included. Like, you can't see the set right now, but I've got Tails figure in front of me. I have like a set of Sonic stills for when I talk about Sonic stuff on my streams. Like, I love Sonic the Hedgehog, even the terrible games, which there are many.
There sure are.
It's like, it's very difficult being a fan of this hedgehog, man. He doesn't make it easy.
I don't see how y'all do it.
He's just so cool.
Yeah, I was basically word for word about to say the same thing. He's just cool.
When he was Steve Urkel, but now, no.
Oh man, Robotnik. Yeah, but like, real talk, like, why do you think Black people resonate with Sonic the Hedgehog?
Is it the shoe?
It's the shoe.
I think it's just because he's cool, and like people don't know, but like Michael Jackson helped with like producing
Sonic 3.
Like, people don't know that, but like Sonic's got good music, and the experience is fun and fast paced, and he's just a cool guy. I will say
that much. Is like, I think Sonic just like was so cool, like visually. And the fact he's got the music, he's got fucking Michaels in the stew working with him. Like,
But not only that, but just like the Sega Genesis coming out, there's this cool new mascot. He's like sassy, has a little bit of an attitude or something like that. He's cool. Of course, black people ate that up.
yeah,
Like, of course.
yeah,
Like,
he is not Mario. He's not an Italian plumber.
Yeah, especially in the era where the Sega Genesis came out. Like,
Yeah.
it was cool. Like, of course, like black people ate that up. Of course, cool. And like you said, yeah, he's not Mario. It's like the complete opposite of, like, of course.
Actually,
I'm just
that's a good ass
thinking
answer.
about that is a good ass answer because I'm like, you don't even know that much about the Sonic era.
No, Food's tapped in. Food's tapped in.
You know,
You cannot play with a Sonic fan. They know everything.
But not only that, like, I just appreciate a lot of like culture that's before my time. Like I'm like it's me and my mom in my house, like a single mom household. My mom talked to me about everything about her era. So of course I'm all up in that. Michael Jackson is one of my favorite artists. Like, I was out the womb being like, baby, that was me. Okay, I'm very much tapped into that, especially since growing up, I wasn't super duper into the internet. I was like on my DS and listening to the music CDs that my mom gave me and stuff like that. I didn't really like form my personality or my identity based on what was popular online. I was like very tapped out doing my own thing. And my own thing at the time was the stuff that my mom taught me about, which was before my generation. So I be knowing my stuff.
Sounds like,
I can walk both worlds. I be knowing my stuff.
I was gonna say, it sounds like you have a good ass mom.
Yeah,
I
you
love
do. But you're making us feel like I said before my time. I'm like, the 2000s is that far. Wait.
No, it's not. But
you're making us feel like fucking Sandman dissolving here. It's just like, ah.
No, because like when we were talking about stuff, like you guys would say like our era. So I'm like, is 2003, like, was that like the cutoff? Like, where am I being placed here? Like, wait.
So you said that you just graduated high school in like 2020.
Yeah, that was your senior year. Yeah.
We've been out of school for like 10 years at that point.
Yeah. We been living. We been living.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I know.
Yeah.
We were saying this. We were talking to a guest. We had a guest previously, Dumpsville. He's a YouTuber, and he's like probably around your age. Like, I think he's 24, 25. And we were just talking about how like 20-year-olds like just stay hitting older people with strays, even though we're just like adults. We're just like regular ass adults, and they're going like, "Yo, you like ancient."
It reminds me of that meme. That dude told his son he was born in 1974, and his son asked, "Were you a slave?"
Oh, that's funny. Ooh, that's funny.
The one that stings the most is the one I saw again today. That TikTok where the kids had a 2000s day, and they was dressing like Soulja Boy and stuff. And I'm like, that's how I'm dressed in 8th grade.
Ooh.
And I look down and I'm like,
yeah, that's rough when you see like they fucking doing that, dressing that way. And it's like, I had that tall tee in high school. I was dressing like Lil Wayne in high school. I had the Avrex jacket.
It's funny to you now when we got yearbooks, you just look like, damn, that's how we look. Like we look like this, like we're looking like Saints Row characters from Saints Row 1.
No,
that's just how we dress for fun. No, like
Saints Row.
Or you got the fucking like straight cut down fucking jeans. You got like some fucking bust ass like skater shoes on. A jersey that just says 3 on it, no player name on the back, no team.
That's the football. Remember, that was the football.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just sitting there laughing at my childhood. I'm just like, damn.
Oh, goddamn. Fucking these kids got to learn about Dipset, Zuki.
I know. Yeah.
They got to learn about Cameron, Killer Cam.
They don't even know why that one of the VTubers wearing pink.
For real. Who is that VTuber? We had another guest on. He's like a VTuber named Toledo. And
yeah, that's my homie.
Oh shit! Oh yeah! Damn, it's all connected.
I literally know him through FNF. That's the homie. Love him.
It's all connected.
Yeah.
Toledo's wonderful. Shout out Toledo.
Yeah, he's wonderful. Shout out to
Most of the time he was on here, we were clowning him for liking the Smash Bros. But beyond that, we were talking about oh shit, I don't know my VTubers, but there's a VTuber who wears like a pink fur jacket.
Are y'all talking about the guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know why he wears that pink fur jacket?
No. I don't.
That's Cameron.
That's Cameron. He was a very big rapper in the 2000s from Harlem, and he wore the exact same outfit.
Oh wow!
And back when rappers are like was super duper homophobic.
Yeah.
Cameron said, "I'm so fucking cool.
I'm wearing all pink. I'm wearing all pink. Yeah.
They can wear all pink and make that shit hard." And
that's
then
interesting.
Yeah.
Rappers are like, Cameron wearing pink. I too can wear pink.
Yeah, Cameron straight up was a trailblazer going like, I'm gonna take pink back. You know, just because I'm so jiggy. But like, because we were talking about the god, and like Zuki and I were losing that shit with Toledo going like, yo, he's got the Cameron fit. And Toledo was like, what? Who that?
I'm like, then that's when we show our age.
It's levels, though. That's what I love about that. It's like, you guys can appreciate him for a very different reason than we can appreciate him for. Because that's culture, right?
Like,
it's so cool that he's keeping that shit alive.
And then it's just like, because I remember showing my little cousin Newground. He like 23 now, but this is way back in the day. I'm like, hey, man, let's get on Newgrounds. And he's like, what's Newgrounds? Like, check this shit out. And we was playing. Now, we was playing games we shouldn't be playing on New. Back in the day, Newgrounds didn't have a filter. You click 3 pages over. We was in the Boys and the Girls Club. We found out about hentai. That's how bad it was. The boomers didn't know what we were doing on
it's just very out of pocket website at that point.
Yeah, you just 2000 Newgrounds. You just click 1 page over.
It didn't take much. It really did not.
It's like, oh, it appears I'm a man now. I've learned too much.
Yeah. I went from buying the position. What is Goku doing with? I've seen that.
Stop! I'm bringing this interview back. I'm putting it back on the goddamn rails. But yeah, last time, shout out Toledo. Toledo's wonderful. One of the few people who. So like, I'm gonna tell you this, Food. Zuki and I were like flagrant VTuber haters. We were haters. Yeah. We straight hating on VTubers. I heard Maury Calliope rap. I had to go to the bathroom after.
I heard her rap, and I called her Maria Cantaloupe because I don't even.
Cantaloupe, that's funny.
Yo, there are people who will release your address for getting her name wrong, dog. You can't be saying that, man. I like the one thing that frustrates me about VTuber people is that they like play no goddamn games. Like Zuki and I, by admission, don't know a lot about VTube culture, like at all.
I don't either. Trust me, I don't know nothing.
But they act like you're an anti just because you don't know shit.
Like, I don't know. I just see anime girl on screen making loud squeaky noise.
Yeah, why are these girls so goddamn loud?
Yeah.
I just want like because me and Brainz, we come up with fake scenarios like, man, what if there was a Japanese VTuber, but she had a black mama?
Oh, that's funny. That's
Girl, I told you can't be yelling. Oh, come in, keep it down.
That's funny. That's funny.
Oh man. Shit. I made a joke on I think it might have been on your Twitter there, Food, where I just said I'm starting an agency, I'm starting V nigga.
That was you. That was with me. I'm starting V nigga. I was crying. Seriously.
Get all the black creators in one agency.
Hell yeah,
seriously.
We're gonna make the BET of VTubing.
Please.
No, it's not gonna be called V niggas. It's gonna be called V niggas.
Yeah, V niggas.
Up in word for king.
Mm-hmm.
Please.
Oh goddamn! If I had the money, I'd be doing it already.
Yeah, because I be looking at the VTuber community from okay. I got into VTubing not even by my own choice. Somebody in my community, because I used to stream making music and stuff like that. Somebody made me a PNG tuber.
Yeah.
I was like, via what? What? I do what? And they're like, oh, you download this on your computer, and then it does this. And I'm like, oh, that's cool, because I had wanted to get into face cam stuff, but I'm lazy. I am so lazy. And if people think for a second I'm going to prepare myself to get on stream, like I got my bonnet on, I am not preparing myself to get on stream every day. I'm not doing that. So they were like, oh, PNG tuber, and I was like, I'm doing that. That's awesome.
Can you inform to our viewers what a bonnet is and what it's used for?
I have.
They're not gonna know. They're gonna think you looking like Little House on the Prairie.
Oh no. I have afro and I need to protect it. So sometimes before I go to sleep, I twist my hair up a little twist. I get my Cantu, which is like my little hair cream. I twist my twists up and I put it in a little satin cap that keeps my hair from ripping off on my pillow when I go to sleep, because I'm a wild sleeper. Okay, I'll be halfway across the damn room. I'm a wild sleeper. And usually people associate bonnets with loungewear or sleepwear and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's not appropriate, quote unquote, to present yourself with your bonnet. If I'm not leaving the house, I'm not taking it off. So that's a bummer for face cam content, because I'm not getting ready every single time. So they're like, oh, just use a PNG tuber. It's cool. You can be your Sona. I'm eating it up. And then some people are like, oh, do you know what a VTuber model is? It's kind of like the step up from what you have. And I'm like, huh? So I started doing some research about just what a VTuber was, not the culture behind it, just what a VTuber was. And I was like, yes, I'm doing this. This is so cool. I can have expressions and do all that stuff. That's so cool. And then I learned there was a community, and like it was like a whole thing in agencies and stuff. And I was like, oh, what? They doing what on Maine? What's happening? And now I'm here. And now I'm here. I don't know. They be talking about Oshi marks and all this stuff. And I'm like, huh? Ain't that what the My Little Pony people got on like they hip?
Yo,
I don't know what.
All I know is if I was signed to an agency, I think I'd graduate same day. I'd be like, nah.
Yeah.
Nary a nigga to be found in the world of VTuber.
Because I'm putting it out here. V niggas is hiring.
Yeah, V niggas, we hiring.
We can't pay you now. But the vision.
Yo, we gotta give the black people deal where we're like, hey, yo, okay, we can't pay you initially, but between the residuals and the merch, you getting paid.
If Robert Townsend can make a whole movie off bad credit,
we're just gonna take a shit ton of loans and go like, yo, you get 10% and you get 80% your merch. All right. But then me and Zuki Valley, we loan you the money to start up. We're just got locked VTubers and 360 deals where they're like paying us back for 4 years. It's like,
we have a new opening.
We'll give you $11,000 to start up, but you gotta pay that back. You gotta pay that back 300%.
I don't know about V niggas. I don't know.
Yeah, it's.
I don't know.
We don't say graduate.
Yeah.
We say they are now on EBT.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny.
It's very sad to see one of our creators get the fuck out of here. Very tragic.
We took that B nigga chain. They're no longer cool with us.
Yo, you get the chain with your son.
You no longer have the rights to that asset.
Yo, you get the.
You're gonna have to remove it from the model, please.
You get the chain and the jacket. You get the. Man, they gotta have like a VTuber jeweler make an ice for VTubers.
Oh my gosh.
No, because if
that's too deep.
Can you imagine?
It's too deep.
If a VTuber had a necklace that was in America, you know they should have get snatched.
Oh man. Yo, yeah, like 3 other VTubers run up and snatch your chain out of the live stream.
Girl was jumped today.
And about like the shade room or something.
Shit.
The VTuber shade room,
Oh man, I just want to see fucking Charlamagne the God be like, okay, donkey of the day, Mario Calliope, boom. That bitch got no bars. I heard that Metal Gear Solid song. That shit went.
We're gonna come on Hot 97. It's the feature.
You got DJ NV Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We got Gora in the studio.
Well,
Breakfast Club.
Well, DJ Envy's not gonna be.
No, he is not. He is not. You're right.
Straight from the singer, DJ.
My stomach hurts.
Oh god damn!
Y'all are so funny.
We try.
Yeah.
We try.
Oh, I can't. Y'all are so funny.
Oh Christ,
Oh,
that's killing me. Yeah, no, we gonna start signing people to be niggas soon.
Niggas soon. Look forward to 2033. Free niggas.
Man,
Just close your ears about the whole 360 deal thing. Like, just close your ears and sign the contract.
just sign the contract. Don't look at it, huh?
You think Big Sean signed?
Yeah,
You think you
yeah,
better than him?
yeah. Well, your little Yachty signed with QC. That nigga still paying him.
Yeah.
Who you think you is? Sign the contract.
QC.
God damn.
Oh, you happy because we juicing you, homie. Welcome to QC.
Mm-hmm. God, that got me dead. That got me dead. That's so fucking funny.
What the realest back in? What was the first console you remember playing?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Talking
Yeah.
junk you on it.
Xbox 360.
Oh hell yeah.
That was my first. Yeah.
Damn, I'm that old. My first console.
Zuki just looking in the mirror going, I can't believe this happened to me. So
Don't become 30.
so like let's talk about your streams right quick. Like you know, you had mentioned that you kind of got like, I don't want to say you got pushed into being a VTuber or whatever, but like
No, I got pushed. It's fine. My community most definitely pushed me into that direction.
so
That's correct.
like what kind of compelled you to start streaming though? Like what made that appealing to you on top of music?
At first, people just wanted to see me stream my music process.
Mhm.
And I was doing that, and I was like, talking to the chat and stuff like that. And they're like, "Oh, you're funny," and I was like, "Oh, because this is just kind of like how I am." Like
Yeah.
that's one thing I tell my community all the time. The way that I am on stream is just how I am. That's why streaming is so easy for me, because I can just turn on the thing and do the thing, and I don't have to think about, ooh, what thing do I say here for audience retention? Like I just be talking, and people are like, "That's funny," and I'm like, "Okay." Anyways, so that's how I got into streaming at first. And then I just kind of kept doing it because it was fun, and I could take clips from stream and edit it into videos, and that was pretty cool. Because I just like to talk. I'd be running my mouth sometimes, and I just say very out of pocket stuff sometimes, and people think it's funny.
One of us.
So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do that. Then I was streaming on YouTube for a bit. I was doing like Friday Night Funkin stuff, making Friday Night Funkin music, playing mods and stuff like that. Then I started doing other stuff. Like I started streaming Roblox for a bit, just streaming a bunch of different stuff.
Mhm.
Then YouTube gave me a warning, and they were like, "Oh, you're spreading hate speech."
Yo,
YouTube.
yeah,
And I'm like,
we got one of those.
hate speech.
We got one of those. Okay,
I was
Yeah,
like,
we got one
hate
of those.
speech, hello? And I was like, okay, I'll try. And keep in mind, back then I wasn't even really swearing on my channel.
right.
So out of the blue, then I start swearing a little bit, not really dropping the N-word, but just like, swearing and stuff like that. They get me again. Hate speech. I'm like, okay, whatever. Then they struck me again within like 2 days, and they were like, hate speech. One more strike and my channel's gone.
They pulled you over. They just went like, yo, driving while black.
Hey.
I'm like, what? So I deleted all my YouTube streams, and I went over to Twitch, and I was like, listen, because what you're not going to do is all my other videos on there are Friday Night Funkin'. There's no English.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, I start streaming, and it's an issue.
Yeah.
So I packed up.
You was black.
Yeah.
I packed up. I went by my bootstraps and went over to Twitch. And then I started streaming on there. And I'm doing very well over there, apparently. It's been a little bit since I've streamed because I did a subathon.
Yeah.
I was streaming for like 2 weeks straight.
That shit was crazy. I
And
kept popping in and seeing like you were still at it.
It was crazy. And people were like, that's not normal for your first subathon. and like the averages that you get over there are crazy. And I'm like, oh, okay. So then I just kind of kept doing it, and now it's something that I enjoy to do, and now I'm here.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's cool. You got hit with the YouTube algorithm. Wait a minute, you have melanin.
Yeah.
Melanated individual. We got to pull up. Yeah, that happened to us on that episode with Toledo, in fact. And
Yeah.
Toledo helped us kind of like signal boost it because we're very small at this point. But
yeah, that's how I found you guys, was through that. Because I was like, that's ridiculous. Because I was just like, I had just gone through the same thing, and I was like, YouTube's doing it again. Oh no, that's how I found you guys.
That shit got me heated. Yeah, because like I was mad when that shit went down. I was like, are you kidding me? We said so many like. We had like poignant discussions about blackness in that episode, and they were like, "Oh, hate speech. You're too busy being Negroes."
Yeah.
YouTube's trash, man. I hate this platform.
Yeah.
That's why like I wasn't too like I was upset and I was worried about my channel because of course like it's a lot of stuff on there. But as far as moving my streaming over to Twitch, at first I was scared, but then when I saw like the numbers, I was like, oh, okay, I'm glad that I'm spreading out, because now I have like, other people can clip stuff. I can take those clips and put them places. So I'm ultimately glad that I was kind of pushed a little bit to Twitch, but still upset about how it happened.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes dramatic stuff has to happen to push you in the right direction. And I'm definitely grateful that I got pushed in that direction. So it's not all bad, but it does suck that like YouTube did that to me, because I almost lost everything I've been working for like 3 years. I don't play about my YouTube check. I do not play about that. Like, it is a business. That's about my bag. So YouTube definitely needed to relax a little bit on that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Well, we respect a black entrepreneur.
Yeah, we do. That's why we want you to join B Niggas.
Oh my gosh.
Circling back. This is all a ploy. This ain't an interview.
Go on and show me the fine print. Show me the fine print of that contract.
Oh,
you have a verbal contract right now.
Girl, you're going to need a microscope to read this contract because it's all fine.
Interesting.
Except the line. You can sign there. You can sign there if you wish.
Yeah, you can see music as color. The only color we see is green.
Damn.
Interesting.
Yo, we straight up do sound like we're gonna be giving some bad deals talking like this.
Like what type of back alley VTuber contract? Like
business.
Being watched?
Just business.
We know a lot about hip hop.
That's scary.
We're just gonna apply all the we know a lot about hip hop. Zuki and I are both big fans of Suge Knight. Just let that breathe.
God.
But on that note though, like talking about streaming, like obviously you play certain video games on that. Like what are some video games that you're a fan of? Like obviously you mentioned Sonic, and FNF's at least something that you enjoy. But like what are some other games that you're into or like really passionate about?
I play just about anything. That's something that my community likes about me, is most of the time people will recommend me a game and I'm like, if it's on sale, I'll get it. Mm-hmm. We playing it. Mm-hmm. Like I play a lot of stuff like Minecraft, Fortnite, that type of stuff. I recently got into fighting games. I have a friend who's been getting me. I just recently started playing Tekken 7.
Oh hell yeah! Okay, all right.
I just started playing, but that's the thing about me. A lot of the games that I've mentioned are very like calm and tame, because I be getting so competitive. Like my community was like, try Apex. I'm like, if you don't want to see me call somebody slurs that don't even exist yet,
look, don't play Apex. We need you to play Street Fighter Third Strike.
Yeah, that's true. We gotta
other games I'm
get you some Street Fighter for sure.
Yeah, once I learned Tekken and how to do all that stuff, my friends, I'm playing Street Fighter. We're gonna play Mortal Kombat. I was playing Dead or Alive yesterday.
Oh shit! Which one?
Oh,
like
it was
5.
5? Okay. It was
5.
5. Yeah.
Nice.
Dead or Alive 5. Yeah. I like watching gameplay of Tekken 6. I might play it because it's with PlayStation Plus. I can download it. I might try it out a little bit. But I love fighting games. Like this is just something I like randomly fell into recently, and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. I love this. But I mean, I played Smash Bros for a little bit. That was something I was into for a little bit. So it's no surprise that I like fighting games, but I didn't know I was going to enjoy it as much as I did. So that's kind of been like my fixation as of lately.
You'd be surprised how many people who play Smash do not like fighting games because they realize they're nothing like Smash.
That doesn't surprise me because Nintendo people tend to be very Nintendo only.
They're like very
really
insular. Yeah, they don't really like. It's kind of shocking when you see like Nintendo people like are like downright ignorant about other video games sometimes. Where you're like, like you guys straight up have never played these games, huh?
Yeah.
Or heard about them.
Yeah, it's definitely something I've noticed, especially since growing up playing Nintendo games. I'm like, okay, I'm not one of y'all. I'm not one of y'all. Like we don't touch a bunch of grass around here, but we've got our head on straight. Yeah,
we occasionally go outside and look at the lawn. Yeah.
we occasionally take a little stroll, a little bit, and then we come back inside and play Tekken 7. But something.
You don't play just straight Nintendo games? And then complain when the game that is not like a Nintendo game isn't a Nintendo game. Like I tried to play Tekken 7 and there was no items. Like I could pick up the items, but
you can't even jump really high in this game. Cosby is in Smash Bros. Why is it like this?
Yeah, why can't he jump?
But yeah, I'm definitely a very versatile game per. Like I played like a lot of TF2 growing up. When I was younger, like Five Nights at Freddy, just a bunch of random stuff. Not Street Fighter. Why did I say? Oh, because I opened my Steam. Like Grand Theft Auto. I was playing GTA 5 a little bit. I'm very versatile. That's something that translates to all throughout my interests, everything. I'm very versatile.
You just try it all. No, I appreciate that. Yeah, like pretty.
You know what game?
Oh, I was just gonna say, pretty much anytime we have a guest on here, it devolves into us like trying to fighting games pill someone. But like it sounds like you're on your way.
Someone already, you're on your way to your journey.
Yeah, and it already happened a little bit before here.
For real. Let me know when you are playing Street Fighter 6 because we will play with you.
Yeah.
Let's go. I'm gonna be trash for a little bit, but once I get in it, I get in.
Oh yeah, that's no mercy. We will just beat your ass until you get good.
I gotta get good. I gotta get good beforehand. I can't let that happen.
That's what's fun about fighting games, though. It's like, especially being competitive. It's like when you lose, you're like, yo, I want to get better. I want to learn more about this.
It's that adrenaline rush. I'm unhealthily addicted to that adrenaline rush. I'm like, yo, I gotta get better. I gotta get better.
I've made some of my closest friends playing fighting games. So like that's what's so fun about the community. Is like, yeah, obviously you got trash talk, you got some fucking certain people in this community, but ultimately everyone's just trying to improve and have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the fact that you came in here like, oh, I'm playing fighting, I was like, word, say less. Wait till you get on Samurai Showdown.
Oh shit, Samurai Showdown's great because like you can die in 2 hits in that game.
Yeah, people are. It's
very tense because like if you hit someone the right way, you can like just kill them instantly. Yeah. It's very good. It's like very defense and like, you know, like footsie and patience kind of oriented. Compared to a lot of other fighting games.
Yeah.
We're going to be real with you, fool. This was to see if you play fighting games. It's the whole point of the interview, but you already kind of blew the bit surprise.
Yeah, we're not trying to hear about Friday Night Freddy or whatever that game is.
Friday Night Freddy. We have lost.
Yeah, we ain't trying to hear that shit. Fucking beep, boop, beep, boop, nah.
That means 3 things to me, because first, when I was growing up, F&F meant Fast and the Furious. Then it became Five Nights at Freddy's, and that means Friday Night Funkin', and I'm confused. Like, I thought we was talking about Vin Diesel and family.
Yeah. Yeah. We stay confused on this program. We stay confused.
Back in the day, there was movies were about racing, and now they're just the new James Bond film.
Yeah, honestly, those movies are so insane now. We're not getting into Fast and the Furious. We're trying to have a goddamn interview, son. When it comes to, like, creativity and like making content, you know, kind of getting your beak wet, as it were, Like, what's some advice that you would give to new and young creators?
Just do the thing. Just do it. A lot of the times people will go like, how do I grow on Twitch? How do I do this? How do I do that? And they'll spend like 3-4 years getting the equipment and like trying to figure out how exactly can I play the algorithm. Just do it, because you learn from experience more than anything. Doesn't matter if there's nobody in there in the chat. Be delusional. Talk to yourself. It's you got to be a little bit delulu. Just do it. If you want to learn how to do music, just do it. If you want to learn how to do anything, you just got to start, because you're gonna psych yourself out if you don't do anything. You just start. I don't understand how to do this thing. You look it up. I want to get better at this. You look it up, but you have to do stuff. A lot of times people will complain, whether it's about how the world perceives them and how they're going to perceive their content before they even put anything out.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to Black creators, they'll be like, oh, I'm not going to do as well as my white counterparts because I'm Black. And okay, like life still goes on. Unfortunately, it's just something you have to deal with experience and learn how to navigate. But if you're psyching yourself out before you even do anything, you will never make it as a content creator. You have to create content in order to be a content creator.
Let me just jump in and say this. The amount of like successful Black creators I've seen on YouTube who don't edit, mostly just throw memes up on screen while they talk in like the worst mic ever. You know,
no, seriously.
But they found their niche, right? They found their people, they found their niche. And it's usually just like a nigga ranting about some hip hop shit or whatever it may be. What is it? Fucking Croc Gang Entertainment is one that comes to mind. Yeah. Where that nigga's mic sounds like he bought it at the dollar store, and he just posts all of his edits are just like pictures of SpongeBob reacting to things and him screaming. And that guy's got 500K subs just off of being funny. Like, I was in a similar boat where I was like collaborating with other people for a while, and I kind of just kept from doing my own shit until very recently. But then I just went like, nah, fuck it, life's too short. I know I got jokes. My co-host got jokes. And we just started doing the podcast, and then we were doing, I'm doing the streams. I'm doing some edited stuff. And I'm seeing growth, but it's like why should I sweat, becoming YouTube famous or something? Like,
yeah, definitely.
Like, nigga, I got a job. It's okay.
Definitely. We literally did this shit. Like, it's funny because we was just in the other Discord server. It's like, what if we had a podcast? And then 2 years later,
let's make a podcast.
We have a podcast.
Yeah. And like the things that we've done on this podcast have been so significant for the both of us. Like, I've been able to interview people who inspired me to do this shit in like a very short amount of time. And we've given like creators voices or like opportunities to speak on deeper issues that they wouldn't necessarily speak on in their own content, right? Like, that's why it was so cool having it's so cool having you on. It was very cool having Toledo on, because we can have kind of deeper conversations about life and about race and feeling displaced, as you said previously, than you might be able to have with your own audience on a larger platform, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. And like another thing is your heart definitely has to be in it. Like if you are doing content creation just because it's the cool thing to do and your heart's not in it, you're going to burn out extremely fast. And people who love what they do still burn out. And if you're not even attached to what you're doing, if you're making your VTuber model off of what's popular, or if you're doing this type of music because of what's popular, or if you're doing this just because you see other people getting success for it, you will never properly find your place in content creation and be able to withstand. Because that's the thing, content creation, a lot of people say that it's just about just creating content. It's about withstanding. Right. If you're not putting stuff out every day, but that the goal is to put stuff out semi-consistently, whatever consistency looks like for you, because your consistency might not be somebody else's consistency, but you withstand, you're guaranteed to, even if you don't blow up to be the most popular, you're guaranteed to at least get a little bit of something because you're consistent and you found your rhythm and you have a good relationship with content creation. If you're just putting stuff out, not really feeling anything about it, or just like putting stuff out just to put stuff out, or whatever, you're gonna burn out. And it's to see who would stand, because people will blow up and all of a sudden you never see them, and then 3 years later you're like, oh, do you remember this person? Like, what happened to them? Because they don't withstand. You have to, content creation is not only just about finding what your niche is and whatever, but staying consistent and withstanding, because your moment might not be right now, but it'll be eventually. And you'll have a whole backlog of stuff for people when they do find you to look at, because you were consistent, as opposed to just blowing up over one video and then people forget about you because you have nothing else to your name. It's about consistency more than anything.
Yeah.
Damn.
Very true. Damn, we learn something new every time.
I know, Foodieti, you putting us on game, you educating us.
Thank you. I love having these conversations, whether it be with my community or just other creators and stuff like that, because I've just learned so much about life. Even though I'm relatively young, I've just seen and experienced so many things throughout my life that I've practiced with myself about how to communicate better, because of course, not only I've wanted to be a YouTuber since I was 11. So I've been thinking about how to talk to people and relay how I feel and what I'm thinking for a long time. And of course, like I said, I've taken classes like interviewing and stuff like that, because my original plan was to be an editor. I was going to be an editor. I wanted to be an editor for like a big YouTuber or something like that, have my own stuff on the side, but I just wanted to be an editor. And then all of a sudden, something in Friday Night Funkin' I did blew up, and now I'm here. I didn't expect to be here, but I had to practice and stuff like that, because I knew that ever since then I was going to be doing some sort of something. So practicing my language and showing, you know, how I'm feeling, what I'm thinking to other people, and for them to feel comfortable with me, it's been something that I've perfected, as to where language isn't a barrier. Whether I'm talking to somebody who's older or younger, anything like that, I can just convey my ideas. So I love talking about stuff, whatever it might be, because more often than not, I'll have something to say about it. So.
Nah.
Communication.
Absolutely. It's
Definitely.
like, well, that's such a vital part of it, right? Is like finding the language and the way to kind of convey who you are, and also stay on, like, you know, kind of stay within your brand or the way you portray yourself online too. Like, obviously you're quite sincere and you're yourself, but you're also like representing something bigger than yourself in a way. So you have to kind of figure out, like, how am I going to portray myself? You know, what words am I choosing? How am I really kind of pushing myself forward? If that makes sense.
Yeah, most definitely.
Damn. Yeah. Food. You're wise as shit. I cannot lie. You're a very wise young woman, and we appreciate you taking the time to be here. To fucking.
I'm enjoying myself.
Absolutely.
You guys are so funny.
Thank you.
You guys are so funny.
Thank you.
I'm over here like wiping tears off my face. Like, yo, it's so funny.
Yeah, I mean, like, that was kind of like half the process with Zuki and myself, was like, us just chatting to each other, becoming friends, and being like, yo, we should do something, because, like, you know, we are both like funny ass niggas, and we like to talk to people, and we like to talk in our bullshit, like,
and people say that we have good conversations when we talk to each other in the other discords and stuff. And we say, fuck it, worst they can do is not watch.
Exactly. It's like, you know, like, the numbers are small or whatever, but, like, you know, neither of us are super pressed at this point about that, because it's just something that the both of us enjoy doing. And, you know, it's more than anything, I'm glad that we're able to, like, interview different creators and have these opportunities to have these kind of conversations fairly consistently.
Yeah, definitely. Once this episode comes out, I will not shut up about it. So y'all don't have to worry about that. I'm putting it in my Discord. I'm putting it everywhere. Have y'all seen this? Have y'all watched this? Y'all, the comments are probably gonna be like, "Oh, Foodieti sent me here. Oh, Foodieti." I'm not gonna shut up about this, because this experience, this is like my first, like, well, this is like one of my first interviews as not only just somebody who's in the Friday Night Funkin' community, but just as a creator in general. and you guys are awesome.
Thank you.
Y'all have such great energy. You guys have great chemistry. You guys are not awkward. Like you guys are definitely built for this. Even if you guys are built for this.
I mean, like half of it's because we're actually homies. We're like very good homies. This
is the conversation we had. It will be what we'd have if we didn't have the mic.
Exactly. It's like we just like this with one another, and like we have a great appreciation for each other. It's like a lot of times you think of online friendships and you just think of like, oh, it's like a couple of people I talk to in the server or whatever. But like this man sitting across from me on this PNG, on this image, this is my brother. This is my big homie.
Brainz my brother too. Like now it's gonna be all emotional.
But it's like it's a good feeling. Like in food, I'm sure like you have those kind of friendships with your mods and people in your community. I know. Is it Mako or Mako who's in your Mako? Okay, yeah. Like I know you have those kind of tight knit relationships too. Like, what are some of the friendships and connections you really value from your time in these fandoms?
My mod team, definitely, because they are my homies. Like I said, I have a Friday Night Funkin mod where I battle against all of them. I love my community as a whole. Like my moderators hold me down, but my community is everything to me because it's a family. Mm-hmm. Like they a lot of them call me Big Sister Food because like I'll be playing Fortnite and all of a sudden somebody will be talking about like, oh, this thing happened to me at school or in past, and I'm like, I'll give them advice or something like that, or like I just want everybody to feel comfortable. And something that a lot of people say to me that when they get into my community or they become friends with me is that like I make them feel comfortable, and that's what I want to do with all people that meet me, but just especially my closer friendships. I want people to be comfortable and feel like they can be authentically 100% themselves around me and not feel like they have to change anything about themselves, because that's what my whole brand is. The Foodieti brand is being pure and pure and authentically yourself, right? Because I'm pure, authentically myself, and I want to inspire other people to do the same thing, whether that be my friends and we're talking and somebody's venting to me and they feel like they feel valid regardless of what it is they might be thinking. They feel valid to talk, or somebody who just randomly stumbled into my chat and they like had a bad day and they want to feel like, even if they're not actively talking, even if they're lurking, like they feel like they're a part of something. They feel included. So that definitely, and like my community has seen me through some hard times, like some very hard times, especially being in the Friday Night Funkin community when that was all that I did. I've been through some hard times, but my community holds me down, and my moderators definitely hold me down, because I'd be like, this is crazy. You have to be built different to be online, but I'm still here. I'm happy to still be here because I have opportunities to talk to people, especially like you guys, and to talk and spread my story, because I feel like my story means something, and how I am means something if I can tell people about it and use what I've been through and just my experience of life to talk to other people and give them knowledge and stuff like that. It makes me feel good about myself, and I'm very happy to get as close to people as I can because I'm just authentically myself, and that's how I've gotten to where I am now, because I don't feel like I have to put barriers up with people. If you don't like how I am, you just don't. Right. Or if you do, then you do, and we're here.
Right. Like
I was gonna say that was fine. Like just saying, hey, it is what it is. Take me as I am.
Mm-hmm.
Cause a lot of content creators, they don't like put themselves out like that. They try to do what's like safe, and then it comes to the point to where they don't put their mask on, and then boom, people see who they really were talking to the whole time.
Right.
Yeah.
And then people get shocked, like blah 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 was a jerk the whole time.
Yeah.
Versus like trying to like show people who you are, like, hey, this is who I am. I'm not going to change. If we can rock with it, we can rock with you. If not, then let's agree to go our separate ways.
Mm-hmm.
Like.
Yeah, most definitely. I've never been the type of person to be super duper pressed about kind of like the intricacies of what content creation means, like trying to collab with people who are bigger than me and like climb the ladder and stuff like that, because that mentality doesn't last.
Yeah.
Like, I just do what I do. And like I said, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Because I've spent so much of my life, just in my regular life, feeling like I have to be attached to people who don't vibe with me the way that they need to. That you think online I'm gonna be pressed if Billy Bob 337 likes my music. Billy Bob 337 can go to hell. Like,
Damn.
I don't care. Like, that doesn't
Billy Bob 337
you know?
Catching the Stray. God damn.
Man,
That was one of
my man's gonna be furious. Yo.
Somebody put an FB in their bio right now. Long live Billy Bob 337.
Yeah, it's like my man did not deserve that stray.
Wait. You said Billy Bob 3. No, I'm cool with Billy Bob 332. He cool
That's slime. That's slime, man.
Yeah.
That's my woody. Yo, okay, well, like, on the topic of authenticity, like, do you have, you know, and this is kind of like I don't want to say an icebreaker question because we broke that goddamn ice already, but like,
You stomped on it.
but like, are there any things you would consider like guilty pleasures or like things that are like authentically you that you really enjoy or like really bring you a lot of pleasure? Things that like you would go like, I know this is corny or I know this is bad, but I love it.
That's a good question. I like Pokemon Go a lot.
Oh god,
I really do. I really do. I love Pokemon Go. Some people might think that's corny, but I do not care. Like when I was deep in like my depression, I feel like going outside. I went on my phone and I was like, there's a Pokemon gym like 5 minutes away from here. I can do that. And I did it. And I was like, yo, this app is fire. I love Pokemon Go. Not a lot of people know that about it, but that's my thing.
Yeah.
That's not corny because you did the part where you went outside and you was like, damn, out here I can think about stuff, and I like the game was more of a catalyst for you.
Yeah, you know it's corny. It's like the people who play Pokemon Go who like drive places. Like they don't even walk. They're just like, I'm just gonna drive to that gym.
No, okay, Boulevard at the gym there, but I don't like the people that are.
No, I mean, when I explain it like that, it doesn't sound like that. But when people hear like, oh yeah, I'm going outside to catch this Caterpie, it's like eyebrow raised, like, oh, aren't you a little like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But when I explain it the way I do, then it makes a little bit more sense.
Right.
But it's a little dorky. It's a little bit dorky. It is.
It's not. Come on, man. Like you make Friday Night Funkin music. You think Pokemon Go is like the dorky part?
I mean, like. That's the thing. Like most of the stuff that I do, people know about already. Like I play games. I crochet. I guess like nothing I do is very like out of the ordinary to the point where like it's like a secret thing that I do. People know most of the stuff that I do already.
Yeah.
It's just that Pokemon Go's kind of normal. That's why I'm like.
Yeah, that's funny because like a lot of people would just consider that like normal ass shit. It'd be like Friday Night Funkin.
But that's the thing, y'all know that already.
Yeah.
So it's like that's how we started. And I'm like, but I mean, like, you know, to you guys, that's like, or my mom will see me like, she'll be like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm about to go like catch this like Pokemon. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh right, that's not like no. Yeah, I'm gonna go for a walk.
I'm gonna go for a brisk walk.
Well,
a brisk walk, yes.
To be fair, it's more of a generational thing. It's like, your mom sounds like she's a Gen Xer, so Pokemon would be like stupid baby shit.
Yeah, you watched it when you were like 9 or 10.
Yeah.
Like me and Brainz literally held that first edition Charizard and thought, this is a piece of cardboard. I'm gonna give it to my little cousin.
Yeah.
Not thinking of I need to put this on ice.
Then, like I saw that shit. And I was like, this is money. This is money. I can retire off this card.
You know, I literally had like 3 of those hoes. I had 3 of those first edition Charizards. The one that Logan Paul made a damn chain out of. I had those in my hand.
God damn.
Like, fresh out the pack.
Zuki out here just saying like, yeah, fucking bezel rolling. My man shining. Yeah. Good God.
Yeah, you think if the Steins Gate way of sending the text, don't do it.
Put that in the shoebox. Put that in the shoebox.
Not for you gotta hold on to everything because you just don't know what might pop off.
That's true. That is very true.
Yeah,
That's why I take very good care of all of my consoles and everything.
People are selling straight Game Boy cartridges of Pokemon for hundreds of dollars for some reason.
Yeah, I'm just laughing at because like
they aren't even particularly rare games, but like people are losing their minds.
Yeah. I remember Pokemon was big. Then I went in the second grade, and they was like, "Pokemon, nah, we playing Yu-Gi-Oh now." I took all my Pokemon cards, gave them to my little cousin. Like, I don't need these anymore. I played the big man game. I play Yu-Gi-Oh now.
I'm grown now. I'm grown.
I don't need these anymore.
Nah, I'm mature. I play Yu-Gi-Oh now. Well, before we wrap up, Food, anything you want to plug, anything you want to share with our audience to peep from your end? Like, yeah, just give us the elevator pitch on what to check out.
Just my YouTube, I guess my YouTube, youtube.com/Foodieti. Twitch, I'm gonna start streaming up again. I've been in my sleeper arc for a couple months, but coming out with a brand new VTuber model, new debut, probably somewhere around December. Twitch.tv/Foodieti. I'm gonna be there. Anything else I do, like my music, anything like that, that'll be on YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, whatever. Just look up Foodieti and my stuff will come up. I'm pretty much everywhere. That's FOODIETI. Anywhere, I'm probably there.
Hell yeah.
That's it.
Well, thank you so much. It's greatly appreciated. Young Zuki, anything to share before we wrap up, sir?
Just follow me on
X.
And thank you for making it this far in the podcast.
Absolutely. As for myself, I usually stream on Thursdays on YouTube, sadly. and new podcast episodes do be dropping. We're doing a Halloween episode with the homie Russell, young Beat Fox, big friend of the show, really cool guy.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna be fucking reacting to creepypastas. It's gonna be a time. It's gonna be a time.
Yeah.
Y'all better be there. That's a threat. Y'all better be there.
Absolutely. This is why we brought you on, to antagonize our prospective viewers. Run them numbers up.
Doing my job.
And then,
Foodieti Nation, y'all better be there.
Absolutely. Y'all best be subbing. I'm gonna count them shit.
Better.
I'm gonna get the
y'all better.
I'm gonna get the abacus out. I'm gonna count those shits one by one. And if I don't see growth,
we're gonna make it like those cringy Minecraft videos. Yeah. If I don't get 9,000 likes, this thing is gonna.
I'm gonna die if I don't get. You gotta like this video. I will die.
Please.
This man will kill me if you don't. But yeah, other than that, working on new music. Did the tape with the homie Club Doom, Stoner's Cookbook, out on Spotify, YouTube, all streaming platforms. That's the guy. That's the young homie. Man could rap his goddamn ass off. So we stay making goddamn fire ass music. Foodieti, thank you so much for joining us. This was a lot of fun. Very insightful.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And you're always welcome down the line. This was fantastic. And of course,
yes, it was.
Peace. We out. Bye-bye.